Comicsgate Journal, March 13, 2020. Direct market bleeding out in an alley. Death by 1,000 cuts. This industry's afraid of me. I've seen its true face. The shelves are extended gutters, and the gutters are filled with diversity. And when the stacks finally get too thick, all the vermin will drown. The accumulated karma of all their derangement and entitlement will foam up around their waists. And all the so-called professionals who called us bigots that blocked us will look up and shout, "Save us!" And we'll whisper, "No."
I could have gotten you to do that, Rob. You
I
could
know.
do that. I had to do like audio voice modulation stuff.
Was that
to get
you?
myself to, yeah, it was. But I like I said, I had to layer reverbs and add bass and I had to put on a voice. But you can do that normally.
Can I?
Yes, you can. You were just doing it. Now you're shy.
Batman.
Look at that. I need to get you to do something. I can't think of anything I might
I'm
need
going to
that
go turn my light on. It's doing my heading. I'll be
particular
back in a
skill
sec.
for. All right, well, I'll say hello to Noah, who's got his first. Noah, this one doesn't count, buddy. I'm sorry. This does not count towards your record. That's only a late night with Comicsgate record. He got up to 5. I think he might be the only guy who got up to 5. Hello, Jeremy. Hello, Stephen. Yeah, it's going to be late in the States. It's 6 p.m. here, evening. So I just finished work, my gainful employment, and now I am working for this man with the Rob Hawk in the blue. Hello, Sam. Hello, Joey. Hello, Dean. Always, you know me, always theatrical. Ugadon. Ugadon. Gandon. Ugadon.
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 Oh.
Gandon Knuckles, welcome to the stream. I don't know if I've seen you around, so welcome to the show. This will be very chilled. I'm about to go to, well, that's what I always do, Jason. I wait for you to go to bed, and then I start a stream. That's what I do. Hello, Robert. Hello, B Rose. Who else do we have here? Who else has turned up for this rubbish? Jay Lee says it's 3 a.m. where he is. Damn, I was enjoying not watching a stream. Well, you don't have to, Phil. You don't have to. But you're more than welcome to stay here. Sam says it's only 3:59 in Perth.
I love Perth.
I've never been, but it looks beautiful.
Oh, it's fantastic. If I could live anywhere else in Australia, it'd be Queensland, then Perth. Melbourne
Queensland,
would be third choice.
Well, I'm from Queensland. It's very humid.
Yeah, but it's nice. It's like a nice hot. Here, when it gets hot, it's dry.
I prefer dry heat than humid heat. Just saying.
I don't. Yeah, but they don't really get like 45 degree days up there.
Yeah, I would imagine Perth would be really hot. I was working on this morning, Rob. What do you reckon of the glowing rebar?
I don't know yet.
Well, I don't know either, but I mean, if we don't have it glowing up here at the top, if we don't have it yellow, you're not going to be able to see it.
Mm.
And then, but if it wasn't glowing here, see, I can turn it off. Right there. Hang on. No, well, I can't turn it off, but I can if I need to. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. This is inside Replicator baseball. I had a discussion with Rob the other day about whether or not the rebar needs to be glowing like it's explosive, and we haven't come to a conclusion yet.
Should we bring in a ringer, a star player, to get their advice?
Who should we bring in? I mean, yeah, I'll just be drawing, so
I can probably make a
You
call.
can shoot out links. See you around, Jason. Have a good night. Apologies for going late, but that's what we do. Ultraman Schnelly says, hello, darling. Hello, darling. Did you ever watch Blackadder?
No.
Oh, you're missing out. Blackadder was so good. Anyway, there's a Rowan Atkinson. There was a character in there called Darling, and Stephen Fry would refer to him as Darling, and it'd say, hello, darling, or come here, darling. And it was just a funny bit. It was a really good gag. Leroy says, if you use glowing on the other pages, yes. See, that's, I mean, I don't see a way around it. Like, we can't not have the rebar be lit up here. Otherwise, this isn't going to work.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not going to look cool.
Well, you're not going to be able to see it.
Mm.
So that's an issue. Anyway, we're not here to talk necessarily the glowiness of rebar tonight. I think I'm going to put in the blue because this page is very yellow and orange.
Yeah, it almost needs like a transition between the darkness.
Darkness is, well, I'll start off with I'll start off by getting some blue in there, and then we can make some decisions afterwards. I'm just copying the layer over that I have on the other page.
Take Leroy's chat off the screen. It's blocking off
Sorry.
the screen.
Leroy says, oh, I just lost the poster.
It looks like someone threw up yellow all over this page and smeared it around.
It's a lot of explosions. But he says, good job. He likes that. No, I'm going to add some blue back into it. So hopefully
What's
that
going
will
on there with what are those weird lines?
balance it out. Oh, that's the, I was adding the layer into it. Copying the layer over from the other page.
Mate, you're getting close to 1,000 now. It's pretty crazy, dude.
Yeah. It's like, it's a shame. Well, it's not a shame. I mean, it's part of the system. You know, it's part of.
It's a shame. Mate, listen to this guy.
What's that?
Listen to this guy.
No.
Big game. I'm nearly at 1,000 backers.
Here's my in-chat review of the Lucent. Is what I would say if I had the book. They're getting there. Mel found a better website where you can track and it'll actually tell you what town it's in. I'll have to do an update later.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's a website. It does all tracking numbers, no matter what company it comes from.
That is very cool.
Yeah. So because we were wondering where Vanessa's was, because we sent hers out in the first group, I think, to go out internationally, and she still hasn't got it yet. But it's in her town. We've determined through this website. Other people, I'm afraid, just gonna have to wait. Yeah, I know, Leroy. It's been going on for a bunch, and some people it's been a day or two, and it's left, and there's no rhyme or reason.
It's really frustrating. There's like, for some reason, on whatever day that you send it out, that particular package gets held up for like 2 weeks, and other days it goes straight through.
We haven't had that yet. It's been kind of, I think it's averaging about 11 days.
That's really
it's been taking to get from our sending to the States.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good, but it is frustrating to just see it sit in Melbourne for a week.
Yeah.
But,
how's Mel finding it? Like, is it stressing her out or not?
No, well, especially now that we figured out a lot of things. I figured out how to print the labels easier. She figured out how to get a good system going, and then we figured out how to do the parcel pickup, and that was a lifesaver. Of course, we'd already done 400, 500 by the time we figured that out, but
yeah, like I told you to do that. Like, that's just
but we did it. But then it was just a matter of like, well, how do we actually do this? And you know, I think I lost the guy's phone number, and yeah. So, but you know, we got there in the end, and I think the ones that we sent out after after we figured out that pickup thing, they went out faster than everyone else's. So you know,
The
we'll definitely
parcel ones that got picked up.
the ones that got picked up straight on the truck.
Yeah, you know why? Because it goes straight to the distribution center.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you go to the post office, they got to scan at the post office. Then the
Yeah, see,
driver's
I
got to
didn't
pick them
realize
up,
that, but then Mel
and
asked
then they got to
her,
go to the center.
and then she said, yes, they do have to scan them.
Yeah.
So you were right on that. I was
It's
wrong.
like, you know, when you have an argument with someone and you just know you're right and they're wrong, and you just get happy to let them figure it out for
yes.
themselves. That's
Well,
exactly.
no, I wasn't arguing. I just didn't know, and I'm like, I didn't think so. But you know, I wasn't gonna stake my life on it.
Stephen Rockwood, does the sky have to be that color? There could be clouds in the sky that create a different effect.
We could add clouds, yeah.
We could, yeah.
Clouds. I could try that. I've just been focusing more on getting the
basics down.
Yeah, the basics down. I think, you know, there's a bunch of pages we'll probably just go back and have a little re-look over. But yeah, definitely we could do that. Carl Ritter does that a lot.
He is a master at adding clouds.
Well, we could just copy Carl Ritter. I mean,
yeah.
You laugh, but we'll put in some cloud effects.
Yeah.
And Stephen will be happy.
He goes, you could use clouds in the sky to make the falling rebar more visible.
Well, I think the rebar is pretty damn visible at the moment, but it might look a bit static. You know, like that. So, but as I said, there's a lot left to do. So I would yeah, I'd rather sort of get onto that stuff first. But already I think adding in just a bit of blue at the background is like as an ambient color. Yeah, it really gives a lot of depth and makes these guys pop out a lot more. So
Leroy says, I'm going to do a 3-hour stream comparing Mel B original art to Roquefort when I get my book. Stay tuned. That'll be funny.
Oh, man, that I've got it saved on my phone. I took a photo of it. And it is a thing of beauty. I'll give you that.
Out of 10, what are you scoring it?
From Mel, out of 10, like it's high, it's up there, high digits from Mel compared to Roquefort. I don't think it's fair to really compare them.
Are you saying that a woman can't draw as good as a man? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying a woman can't draw as good as Kenneth Roquefort. Maybe there are some. Actually, I shouldn't say that, because if you ever catch that visible women hashtag, which I hate with a passion, because I said once, have you ever seen that hashtag?
No.
It's like for comic book. Oh, it's not just comic. I think mostly comic book artists use it, but it's illustrators and artists on Twitter. And it's you know, it's for women to promote themselves, and it gets massive traction.
Really?
They get huge retweets and everything, but some of them are just incredible. Some of these women are truly genius illustrators and artists. But you know, I said to someone one day, you know, this is back when I was in, you know, doing web comics. I said, you know, that men are the you know, super minority in web comics. Women make up 70%, something like that, 70 80%. Then there's 15% or something of 10 to 15% gender non-binary, and then there's men. So yeah, where's the visible men hashtag in web comics or what in comics? And yeah, of course that didn't go down very well. Imagine.
Leroy says, Weeb Toon Talk. I'm going to take an AFK break. Oliver from 656 says, will that blue print Bancroft?
Maybe not. Yeah, yes, it will. Well, Rob prints digital, and that's a lot more forgiving. But we'll check all that going towards the when we go towards press. I'll make sure that it's there's I know Mo Biggs is in here, not too much black in that blue. We'll check all that stuff, but I mean, we might do some sort of treatment on it. That's I didn't even think of that because it's not something that I normally do. I normally like paint in my skies.
Oliver says men print comic books. That's the difference.
Well, yeah, but I mean, these ladies were very talented, and they were, they're acting like they've got no clout and power, but they're clearly big professionals.
They're full of clout.
And I had no clout. I mean, I had nothing. No one knew who I was at all. I was a nobody, a complete nobody. But I had no access to any of this hashtag action. Just because I'm a man, and I thought that's not right. Did you see Comicsgate was trending today?
Was it because of my awesome show with Leroy and George this morning? Did you watch that? That was pretty funny. I was copying it from the chat
I watched
today.
some of it, yeah. I was pretty busy with work today. But yes, I did. It was there seemed to be a bit of confusion.
There's always confusion when I'm involved with anything. It's just the way it is.
So I hope it all worked out in the end.
It was funny. It was funny. So, I enjoyed myself. I can't say the same for Leroy and George. I hope they did, but you never know.
Sounds like I got to read skits.
George loves skits.
I'm bummed now I didn't back it. It's just that was at the time when I had no money, because I remember I was campaigning for Lucent at the time, and I was dirt broke, and but then when I finally did get a bit of what's it called,
money.
Traction. Yeah, but like money that you can spend. What's that? There's a name for it.
Disposable income.
Disposable income. Thank you. It had already sort of fallen off my radar. So that's a shame. I don't even know. It might still be in demand.
I looked at it today and I can't tell you because I don't remember.
Well, hopefully they'll be back for another bite at the. Is it a bite at the apple or a bite at the cherry?
I mean, logically, you'd think it's an apple, but I think it is cherry. Yeah. Surely someone in chat would know.
If they get really good, and they have. It's not just George. It's a bunch of people have given them really good reviews, feedback. Then you would imagine that they would come back for more. So
we've got Mo and Johnny saying it's apple. Ryan says banana.
Bite at the banana.
Ryan says banana. Oh, it's funny.
Well, whatever it is, that's great. Dream books for the win, huh? I woke up this morning to a fantastic review from Cooper, who we might know out there as Telepathic Bunny Comics.
Was it better than my review?
It was better than your review.
No, lies.
He I mean, he said things that, you know, I don't want to repeat because it's not the place of the author to say such things about their own work, but it was very high praise. And he gave a really long sort of in-depth review. He really appreciated the interviews at the back as well.
He did not.
He did.
Really?
Yeah,
I read one of them.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, Rob. People like that stuff, but you know, not everyone does, and that's fine. I understand, like that. It's supplemental material. I completely understand that not everyone likes that stuff. It's like, you know, I figure it's a bit like the stuff in Watchmen. You know, the newspaper kind of articles at the, you know, the go along with the Watchmen. It's not for everyone, but it does add to the story if you want it. And but anyway, you know, yeah, he really liked the whole characterization of it. He laughed that, you know, he still didn't know what the Lucent was, but that's sort of part and parcel of it. That's the mystery. That's the fun part for me. Is yeah, I mean that's the whole thing. Like, I remember watching TV shows, and thinking I really loved the first 3 episodes when I didn't know whatever the thing was. And then they tell you in the 4th episode, and then the rest of the time you're like,
It's like when you're watching like a horror movie and the bad guy's got a mask on the whole time, and then at the end the mask comes off and you're like, oh, it's that person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like to just drop hints here and there. And you know, and I guess that'll frustrate some people, and other people will enjoy it. Johnny Rando says the interview section was weird and unique. I enjoyed it. Thank you, Johnny. Yeah, and but I completely understand it's not for everyone.
Have you got any negative feedback yet?
Your little critique. But not as yet. But I don't think many people. I don't think a whole bunch of people have got it yet. So I'll wait for that. I'm certain Leroy and George will have some things to say.
It was funny. We were saying off air today that you're probably going to be following Shane Davis.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like I think George was saying that, you know, you probably want to follow someone who just scored a D or something, but
yeah.
Well, mate,
but no one's in any kind of, you know, I never put myself up against Shane in terms of the art. I think what they said was pretty accurate. He's probably the best guy doing with facial expressions around at the moment. So yeah, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know what else I can do. Shelby's going to bed. Well, I see you in here, Shelby.
I just sent him the link, so there you go.
EVS had a good laugh out of your head. Yeah, I made a video, Tenerife. I think he saw it.
Yes.
Where I showed it. That was pretty funny, and that's exactly what I imagined was happening. Why was Comicsgate trending? I think it was because just lots of people are talking about it at the moment. Just
you know what it was?
The whole Kickstarter thing.
That chick posted that thread, like Comicsgate's a hate group, and it just went off. Did you see that one?
As well?
Yeah,
like I've done. I don't know. I've been tweeting lately, so I go through that. I go through waves, and my tweets about Comicsgate minimum, 50 to 100, and one of them is over 200 likes. So that's not normal for me. I think just people are talking about it. You got that the not just the comic book consultant. You've got a woman who is she's the comic book I don't know, what is she called herself? She's the comic book boss on Kickstarter, liked a tweet saying Comicsgate is a hate group. So just, I think just people are talking about it, and yeah, so it was trending. It was funny to see. I was like, wow, not something I really expected to see. But Patrick Zercher as well was going around saying, I'm gonna crowdfund a comic book to sell to Comicsgate, and then just send them some.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
And then someone else sent a tweet saying, why don't we fund like liberal books as a response to the Comicsgate conservative books or some bullshit like that, which was funny in and of itself that they even thought that. And then also the fact that they don't even back, people don't back books like that.
Mo says she was apparently neutral towards CG until someone played her a clip of Bancroft discussing K values.
It's a very important part of pre-press.
It's funny though, like it seems to be happening more and more that like people are saying, "Oh, CG is a hate group," and then people are going, "Hang on, where's your proof? Where is this coming from?" Like, so I don't know.
There's a thread.
Seems
I'm
good.
gonna go through it on a show this week. Probably on our Thursday. I think I'll have time. There's a thread, and it's pretty ridiculous, and it's just a lot of the same stuff that you imagine. Like they've chucked in that time Ethan talked about shooting Chinese. It's a lot of and it's people who they say, oh, this guy's a really big comic skater, and it's a guy you've never heard of.
Oh, that happens all the time. They're like, yeah, listen to this guy, and like, I've never heard of this dude ever.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a laugh at that, I think. But I think it's a pretty damn good time. I know Leroy was feeling a bit down a month ago or 3 weeks ago or something.
I think everyone goes through that though. Like you go through like phases of it.
Yeah, I mean, we've been here. I mean, I have been here in this on Twitter, checking what's going on Comicsgate, or jumping onto YouTube and catching a live stream since 2017. So yeah, you're going to have moments where you're a bit over it, I suppose. But then the great fulfilling happened, and I mean, people are getting books. It's like it's raining books at the moment.
Goes through waves, doesn't it? Like goes dry, and then all of a sudden, just books everywhere.
Bancroft, do not do too many of these videos. I won't, Tommy. I won't.
Just 15. Just 15.
No. Look, but I always preface it as this is fun to laugh at. This is not like when I'm not engaging them on any serious level. I'm not accepting any of their premises. There's only a few problems with their left-wing book crowdfunding strategy. One, CG books are almost never right-wing political books. I mean, there's been a couple guys who've tried to do a kind of, I guess, Christian right-wing book, and they've had some moderate success. I can't really think of many others other than the Trump ones, but they were sort of like, they fall into satire a little bit. But yeah, I mean, out of the 300 plus, not many at all. Two, they've already turned most of the mainstream books into left-wing political pamphlets. Three, Zercher sucks and nobody likes him. Yeah,
don't even know who he is.
Someone said Patrick Zercher. Someone said, you got to actually fulfill a book to make this whole thing work. And I mean, that's not probably going to happen. Johnny says, my fiery hot hate is enough to sustain me. No need for a group. Yeah. So conservative, like Starlight Cats repeatedly bring up gun rights. Well, it's ridiculous on the face of it, which is why I feel comfortable having a laugh at it. Unless they find a wealthy sugar daddy, most commies are broke. I do need more. I'm new to CG. Explaining new CG to. Oh, Rob, there you go. I had my friend on the other day. Did you catch him, Brad?
Yes, I was
And I just
disappointed
got
that he didn't know
What's
about the
that?
story. I was disappointed he couldn't remember the story.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what it's like. He remembered the house. He remembered the porn. He didn't remember the bush pig. He didn't remember, much else. But I remember the look on his face. I remember what she said. I remember what I saw. That's what it's like. And also, he's hit his head a lot. But after the show, he said, I really would want to talk about getting guys like me. When he's saying me, he means him, who used to be into comics but fell out of it for whatever reason, into this, because he backed the Lucent because he's my friend, but maybe he'd want to back some other things that catch his eye. He's a single guy with disposable income, and
And
I thought you would be a good person to chat to with that, because you're always thinking about that.
I'm pretty sure some genius, I can't remember who it was, said there was probably a lot of people from the 90s that used to back comics.
That's why I brought you up. Yes, I was trying to give you that compliment.
Thanks, Maycroft.
So I said, yeah, well, I'll get you back on, and I'll do it with you, because you can keep me focused.
Okay.
Because without you or Joe, I just get lost in the chat, talking rollerblade, talking poker. It just all fell apart.
Yeah. Let's do it. That sounds good. Stephen Rockwood says, excuse me, hold on. What the hell is a bush pig? So basically, there's levels of bogan, right? So you got your standard bogan, then you got your feral bogan. Your feral bogan's kind of what would we call feral bogan, Bancroft? Like your hill
a bogan
type.
can be really kind of be anyone. But someone who's really uniquely Australian, right? You could say they're a bogan, but they don't have to be anything like, I mean, I don't want to be too derogatory, but yeah, I mean, they don't have to be too. What I don't want to say anything now. I don't want to offend bogans, but you can have a feral bogan, which is like, okay, this is a person with lots of teeth missing. All they do is sit around, drink beer all day.
Very trashy. Very trashy.
Exactly, right?
Mm-hmm.
A bush pig is a
whole other level.
Is the female, version of a feral bogan. So a bush pig is a less than comely female bogan of questionable virtue. Exactly. That's it. I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find a good picture of one, but it's all just women hunting for pigs, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Micro says, "Wait, bogans have titles? They don't have titles. They more so have categories, which people put them in if they want to." Yeah,
Here we go. I found
Ken
this.
Jack Ben.
Because of the bush. Well, I mean, it's just a reference to a bush pig, like a bush pig. Casey Matters. A bush pig is the fatty you pick up at closing time at the bar. Yeah, pretty much. I just found this on the internet. I don't know who these people are, but there you go. There's a feral bogan with his preggers bush pig girlfriend.
So Ken Jack Ben says in the States they call them hillbillies. But what do you call like the extreme hillbillies? The ones that are way more hillbilly than the other
You see,
hillbillies.
bogan can be affectionate. That's the thing about Australian culture. We can say bogan is an insult, but it can also be affectionate. Like I call the chat bogans. It's an affection thing.
And you can also use the C word as affectionately here.
Exactly. In Australia, you can call your best mate a,
mm-hmm.
Or you can yell at the guy
coconut.
down the street, "Oh yeah," and it's a massive insult.
Yeah. And you can also say mate offensively as well.
Yeah.
Oh. That's up, George.
It's all about context. Hello, George. Morning, George. I enjoyed both your reviews, especially the Shane Davis one. I'm really pumped about this book now. I was one of the people who originally backed Starlight Cats to read to Victoria. I mean, she's old enough to read it herself now, to give to Victoria, essentially.
Linkovich says, "Do bogans say a word like sweetheart and ninja?" I don't know that. What? I don't know. They say like use and asked instead of you and asked. Like they chuck R's in and use.
Yeah. Use guys.
Use people.
I try to keep my YouTube channel clean.
I say it.
So
I say it.
So that YouTube are they're a bit of a funny bunch.
Are they a bunch of coconuts?
They're going to retroactively go back through your YouTube and then take your channel down because you said something mean 4 years ago. That's just what they do. And plus George is here, and I don't like disappointing George. And I might have to follow up Shane friggin' Davis in a review, which is not what it's not the position you really like. On a poker table, you want to sit to the left of the best players. You don't want to sit to their right. No, is it the other way around? Anyway,
Sumo says, "George, I backed Skits tonight because of your recommendation." George asks Rob, "Does Michael know he's the next CG superstar?" I don't know. He didn't watch the show, George.
Oh, was that said? I'll have to go back and watch it. No, I don't think so. But I've been getting a lot of compliments lately. I guess that's what happens when you put your book out.
Or you color my book. One of the two.
What's that?
Or you color my book. One of the two.
We'll see.
Leroy says, "For the love of God, don't watch it, Bancroft."
I think I dipped out at some point because I don't remember why actually. I think it's just something came up and then I never got back to it. But yeah, you guys were arguing about semantics of superstars and
yeah, of course,
stuff like that. So I was like,
I know George can't be bought, Bancroft, but have you thought about sending him some life cereal and some Tums?
I think that would hurt me rather than hinder me. George is he's a comic book purist. He won't be bent. I was actually very pleased with the objectivity because I know Leroy is quite close with Shane. I get the feeling that if something had missed a spot, which thankfully it didn't, he would have been honest about that in the review. So yeah.
Here's a question. Do you think other creators can review books?
Didn't you talk about this with K Manifesto?
Did I?
I don't know. I thought someone did. All right. Well, we can have this discussion. Yeah. I know it was Clint and Kemosabe who disagreed, I think, from memory. I think not. I think no. I don't. Now that I have a book out, especially, I think it really brings into question my credibility if I start critiquing professionally, publicly, other people's work. Now that's how I feel. Kemosabe obviously feels differently. I know that there's a bunch of other guys who have done it. They obviously feel differently, and that's up to them. But for me, that's how it makes me feel whenever I think about it. Because I don't know if I could remain 100% objective. I hope that I could, but I just don't know. And I know that you might think you're being perfectly objective and you're seeing something and whatever it is, and then you can't really know that, well, that's actually happened in your book, and then that is a bad thing. Like if you come out saying, oh well, I think this is a bad thing, you shouldn't have done this, and then that's a flaw of your work. I don't think that's a good look, and I think that can hurt your credibility, and I don't think we as creators always can see that, see the flaws in our own work. So I mean, it's probably a cop out. I just think it's easier. Let's just not go down that road. I think that's why what's it called, professional courtesy exists in the first place. But I don't hold anything against anyone who does do it. And I know a lot of people are pretty thankful for it. People ask me for their opinion all the time, and if I've got time, I'll give it to them. I don't always have time, but I don't know how valuable it is. My opinion, I mean.
I think it's a tough one, right? Because if let's say I review a book, let's just take The Lucent, for example, right? And I think it's fantastic. It's a sensational book, where in fact the book's pretty shit, and I say that publicly. That makes my opinion on things kind of just destroyed in people's views. How good can he really be at creating comics if he thinks this book is good when in fact it's actually shithouse?
Are you saying that the creator is lying?
No, I am saying that the person.
Right, so you're saying that the creator thinks the book is awesome.
Yeah.
The creator thinks the book is awesome, but then you think, I read that book. That book is garbage. So now I no longer can really believe anything that creator. Yeah, I think that's a massive danger.
Yeah, that is
a huge danger.
I think that is that's a serious concern.
Yeah.
Leroy says
I
Rob
did a
sounds
review
like he's
of your
talking
boy
from
Zach's
experience.
What's that?
Leroy says Rob sounds like he's talking from experience, George.
I did a review of your boy Zach's God King, and it was a negative review. I think I know, and I also did one of Blood Honey, which was a positive review. But then, like, that was so far before I had my book out. I just wasn't thinking of how people might perceive my work, and laid the same criticisms that I levied against Zach against me. And I think that's valid. I think if I say something about that I didn't like about God King, and then I've done something similar, even though I'm not aware of it in Lucent, then yeah, I think that does bring my credibility into question. So
$4.99 is a good example, right? So if you went and looked at that book and you thought the color palette was really good, it made the colors pop and really worked with the story, what are people going to think about your credibility then?
Well, I don't know. Surely there are some people who like it. I don't know. But look, I mean, I don't want to bring actual books into this because then I'm like, doing what I said I wasn't going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But oh, there's something I'll say. Better Ray Chill. The Lucent is the comic I'll be comparing all other CG books to. Such a great book. Thank you, man.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I've been here. This is what I'm saying. Like people, because you said it yourself. It's so different to what other books are like.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there is going to be a group of readers out there that want that.
Mm-hmm.
And it may not be you, Rob. It may not be, may not be Leroy. May not be George. We'll find out. But it's really warming the cockles here to know that there are some people who are getting it and really connecting with it. What's going on?
I'm not going to read that out loud.
Rob and Bancroft have gone after the size of each other's heads.
There's no comparison. Your head is ginormous.
Including
Put
Lucent.
Mel right
I
next
might
to
give
it.
them
It was
2 more
huge.
Starlight Bonds, maybe more. Is reviewing a Zach or EVS book really the same as reviewing anyone else's? Well, I mean, at the time, that was all I had. So it was that or nothing. And I was trying to think of what am I going to do with my channel. So I thought I'll review these books. And at that time, the no one was saying anything negative about God King, which I found astounding at the time. So I thought, fine, well, I'll nut up, I suppose, and tell everyone I thought of it. But yeah, very quickly I thought, I don't really want to go down this road. Michael wants to know, is this a cry for help, Rob? Well, it's always a cry for help.
Always.
Mo says, is it true that Rob's babysitter used to call baby Rob her little drop bag because she dropped him so often?
It's true. How did you know that, Mo?
Lots of people said Starblades is great too. Yeah, this is it. I don't think you could find 2 books further apart than Starblades and Lucent in terms of approach to making a comic book. But that's fine if that other side is what you want. You want just a eye-melting kind of spectacle of visual, whatever, however you want to describe Starblades. So I think it's time to go on a chat strike again. This gatekeeping is out of hand. Well, I mean, this is a bit of a different stream. Robert Shepard says Starblades disappointed. I think it disappointed a lot of people. And the art was good in Starblades. David Feed says I only review good books, so no CG books in my channel except the loose. Oh, thank you, David. Yeah.
I don't love that comment, I gotta say.
What don't you love about it?
I only review good books, so no CG books in my channel. It implies that all the other books are not good.
Maybe he hasn't got any good CG books. So let's not just tell a lie and say Comicsgate produces nothing but the best comics out there. That's not true.
I'm not saying they do.
Even from seasoned professionals, we've seen some stinkers. But I think overall the trajectory is incredible. And now, that's what one of the really good things. I was on such a high this morning after listening to the Starlight Cats review. It felt like for a while there we hadn't had a good book in a long time, and then all there was out of the books that had come out was Monster MD, and that's all anyone could talk about because that's for a long time. That was it. But I feel like now with this new, these books just coming in thick and fast, there's going to be a lot more. And it's really great that Starlight Cats is, can potentially be another one as popular, more popular than that one was. Tommy says $4.99 story was solid. The idea of presentation was clear. It was not well expressed on campaigns, and changing the basic quality was foobar. The book was so small, there was no need for the changes. Yeah, I didn't back it.
I didn't
so
back
I
it
don't know
either.
either way.
Bancroft, keep coloring. Stop reading chat.
All right. Sorry.
I'll read chat.
You read. Well, I didn't want to. I did want to. Oh, there's Brad there. He says, let's set up the chat later in the week. Battle of the Bogan Buffheads. Or Buffheads. Brad was out playing poker the other day and he cleaned up $680. But then now they're in lockdown again because he's in Geelong. We got Mr. John Mail in the house. He says, I'm on a high this morning too. Fantastic. Maybe he's drawing godlike.
Where's my book, John? I want my graveyard shift.
It's probably
Where's my
on the
cat
way.
book? Where's my cat book, Shane Davis?
Oh my god. All right, you read the comments. From now on, I'll get back to coloring.
All
what was I
right.
doing?
Scroll.
You're gonna have to say their name because I can't bring them up, obviously.
All right. Hey, John. How, John? Lethal Diva. What if you did a small focus group like the movies do? Run your comic by other writers and artists and or fans to see how they feel about the comic before you produce the new issue. It's a lot of work. I run stuff past people I trust, I guess. Joe Bancroft has an editor.
That was one of the really good things that I loved about Cooper's review today. Cooper's telepathic bunny comics, that he really acknowledged Joe and Eric's role in what Lucent is, and what eventually it became. Anyone who gets the crackhead cut, the unedited edition, will be able to see for themselves what it otherwise may have been. And yeah, Joe's been just over the moon, reading all these kind comments and listening to that review. So as he should be, because he played a massive role in that, making that happen.
It was great, Sage. I like Dragon Rage art and dialogue, but it felt too short. Same with Death Shroud. Tommy Sarkinen, Starblade's art was adequate and coloring good. Faces were cold, which dampers the emotions. The dialogue was stiff, had idea, but very rough. With an editor, there's potential. Leroy, this stream sucks now. Bancroft isn't in charge anymore. Kick Rob. Fantastic.
Well, if I kicked Rob, I wouldn't get any coloring done. And I need to finish the coloring because I need to get started on getting the Lucent 2 campaign going. Whoa, someone's here? Oh, no. Rob, what happened? I wonder why it was quiet all of a sudden.
I'm going to send Mail a link, see if he wants to pop in.
Yeah.
Probably too busy.
I think he just woke up, so it's really early there.
I don't like how happy you guys are that I kicked myself. I gotta say.
It's funny. Guess what we got today, Rob?
What?
Jungle Gym, monkey bars.
Yeah. I feel like, are you still allowed to call them monkey bars, or is that racist now?
Oh my God, Rob. Can I kick you?
Yeah, you can kick me. How much should it cost you?
They're not cheap.
Yeah?
It's over $1,000.
It's crazy.
But they're modular. So you can add things to them. We got they're balls, like a series of balls, so the kids can swing holding on. It's a ninja, the Ninja Warrior thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's all the rage. So you can add things to it. Yeah, I mean, I don't see this lockdown ending this year.
That's crazy.
So my kids would not make it.
I
don't know how it happened that we ended up with. What was that? Sorry.
I might need to buy a Switch or something. It's crazy.
A Switch? What, like a computer game?
Nintendo Switch.
I'm talking about physicality here, Rob.
Yeah, well, we go for walks and stuff. Go for bike
that?
rides. We go for bike rides and walks and that kind of stuff.
They're probably going to make it so you can't. Only 2 at a time or something if they already haven't.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so I know Victoria in particular is big into Ninja Warrior things. She's an excellent rock climber. I think she held the speed record for the under 8 or something on the speed wall at our local climbing place.
What about Olympics?
Yeah, she was like, when the Olympics were on, she was like, when I'm in the Olympics for rock climbing. She wasn't if, she was like, when. So maybe if she's going to be in the Olympics, she'll need to, keep her training up. So
what's Mel going to use the money I'm paying you for on Bancroft?
A new lawnmower. She's been complaining about apparently I got her the lawnmower is too budget. And plus the handle kind of broke. So now she's got to hold it up. So yeah, maybe once the Replicator is finished, we'll get a good lawnmower.
Mel says nothing. She's not going to buy anything.
There's some funky comments in the chat here. Did you see what John wrote?
Yeah, edible was good, still buzzing, but largely sober, drew all night. America, where you can get stuff that you want. How frustrating.
Do you want an edible, Rob?
I want lots of things.
What would you write about if you had access to such narcotics? I wonder.
I don't know. That would be fun though. I want to get I can't even remember what it's called now. There you go.
You want to get high by the sounds of it. There's lots of people all over Australia getting high all the time.
Yeah, but like that, it comes from like your friend's basement gear. Like in America, like they're like companies that make this stuff.
That is true.
Come to Michigan, Rob. It's pretty much Winterfell.
I could never do it. I'd be at a party and someone would just like say, "Take this pill," and I'm like, "Where's it come from?" I'm like, I don't know.
Someone's basement.
I'd rather not, actually. One time I had someone come up to me. I always wonder why are you coming up to me? Do I look like I take and sell drugs? Maybe I did, but I don't know why. Someone came up to me once and said, "Do you have a Bicky?" And to me, a Bicky is, like Arnott's shortbread.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, what are you talking about? A Bicky?
Mate, we went to a rave at Cryle Castle. Do you know Cryle Castle?
No. Okay,
so Cryle Castle is literally a castle, and there was a rave there, and this guy, we're all dancing. This guy walks up to us, and he goes, "Oh shit, man! I just double dropped," which means he had two bickies of an illegal substance, and he was just fully sweat. This was like 20 years ago, and I still remember it to this day.
Cool story,
Yeah.
bro.
I know, right? It's
Well,
crazy.
I still don't know what a Bicky is, and I don't really care to know.
I'm not gonna get
You don't
into it,
have to.
Bancroft,
No,
but
don't say it.
it's pretty
George is
pretty obvious.
Why is it obvious?
Have you been here? Okay.
Have I been what? I've
Outside,
not
I was
been
going
to a
to say.
rave.
So basically, the chat is saying America doesn't want Rob. Leroy says keep Rob. They may accept Bancroft.
Well, they're going to have to accept me because they want Mel. So we're kind of a package deal, being the father of her children. So
send us you're tired and weak, not so fast, Rob.
Send us you're tired, you're hungry, your large foreheads yearning to be free. That's what it says, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was from Johnny Rando, though, I think.
Well, he'd know.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's all crazy.
What's crazy?
Well, Sam, we want to get off on this topic, Bancroft, but he said, I heard a story about a woman who took a pill at a party. It was heart medication. She lived one night in the hospital. It's crazy. You don't know what's out there.
That's what I'm saying. Say no to drugs, kids.
Mm.
This is a public service message.
You have to be able to handle a gun. Would you get a gun if you're in America, Bancroft?
Yes.
Mm.
Probably a couple.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
There's photos. Can you see this on the screen? Can you see this weird stuff happening?
No, you're not sharing anything right now.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know. I don't know how long it's been like that either.
People like, what's going on? Hold on a sec. It's because I went full screen. That's what it looks like, full screen. I had to go full screen because I'm working on the edge. Oh no, that's not even the right thing. Hold on a sec. That ain't it. That ain't it. Hold on. What is going on here? It doesn't accept full screen as a window. That's what's going on. All right. Well, I'm just gonna have to very quickly do this because I can't have the window like separate to do this part of the image. So I'll just very quickly do something. Yes, I would. I would have some guns. I would protect myself. It's not quite like I don't know. I don't think it's quite the same in Australia. You don't have that gun culture. You know, the likelihood of ever running into anyone with a gun is, I mean, you just don't ever hear about it, really.
Mm. We have a lot of people that carry knives over here.
Well, that's what happens. Same in the UK. You know, people carry weapons.
I don't know if this is accurate, but I feel like when people carry knives, they intend to use the knives, and I don't know if that's the same thing in America with guns. Like people carry guns
Probably
because they carry guns. When they carry knives here, they tend to stab someone with them.
I don't know how you can know that. I don't know how you could possibly know that. I took a knife to school once. I just wanted to show my friends. And then I thought I'll probably get in trouble. So I didn't. So I just was carrying around a knife in my backpack all day, sweating.
Mm. Checkpoint. What if he needs to cut a rope or a box or shoot a coyote? I guess an emu. Rob, there are more guns than people in the US. Are there really?
There's probably more guns in Australia than there are people as well. How many guns in Australia? Let's have a look. How many guns in Australia?
Leroy.
There aren't. But this is more than you imagine. There's 3
2
million
million.
registered firearms in Australia. There you go.
Leroy, can we have a Replicator 4 stretch goal where Rob promises not to live stream for 6 months?
I like checkpoints question. What if a wild emu starts charging you, or worse, a cassowary? Well, if an emu starts charging you, you just stand your ground and slap it in the face. It's an emu. What's it going to do? It's going to peck you. If a cassowary starts charging at you, crawl into a ball and die, because you are not getting out of that confrontation. That's like the equivalent of a grizzly bear charging you. You're not surviving.
Micra says, didn't Australia have a really bad gang war a decade or so ago? People getting gunned down in the streets.
That's
One
what
dude
I said. That's
shotgunned at
why
his
it's
kid's
rare.
soccer game.
Yeah. That was the Morans versus who were the other group? They were bikies, I think. I don't know. It was a drug
Hells
war.
Angels.
It was the Melbourne underworld drug war. And so when people have guns, especially criminals. But other than, I mean, you just, like I said, day-to-day, everyday person does not ever really encounter guns.
Leroy's doing his part. How many guns do you think Leroy owns? Don't look at the chat.
I already saw, sorry.
Oh.
I mean, it seems like overkill, but maybe not. I know Leroy is a fan of, like, he likes guns. He likes collecting them. So in that context, it's like, you know, if you were to ask me how many wrestling figures do you have, you know, well, I've got over 100. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have 39 firearms than over 100 wrestling figures.
It's certainly worth more. Although one of them is worth. Actually, I'm going to check right now because I checked like months ago, and it was already at 1,500. I'm going to check how much this figure is worth at the moment. What's it going for? Let's have a look here. Shopping? Where do I go? eBay? No, I can't find it. Anyway, it was worth like $1,500.
Steve Worster, how many Funkos do you have, Bancroft?
I think I have one. Hold on a sec. I think I have one. It's of me. I've got a Funko of me. I think it's a Funko. I don't even really know what they are. Hold on. The Funkos are the things with the big heads, yeah?
Yeah.
It might not be, but it might be. Oh, it is. It's a Funko. It's Seinfeld in the puffy shirt. Mel bought it for me after.
It's not very accurate.
Yeah. I was thinking of, you know, painting a beard on it and putting a VB in his hand or something.
But you need to like double the size of the forehead to make it.
That's yeah. The forehead is a bit short, but yeah, what are you going to do? Then I thought, I just moved on with my life. But yeah, that is the only one. I didn't realize these were a big thing.
You serious? Like, that's what's taking over comic stores. Funko Pops.
Well, I don't know. The comic book store I go to, or used to go to, doesn't have any. They sell a lot of comic books, and they're really good people. But I haven't been into Minotaur in 15 years. Hold on. Now I can't see the chat. I don't know what I'm missing. I always feel like I'm missing something if you're not saying anything.
Leroy says, in West Virginia, you were issued a Remington 870 Express at birth. It is in the Hillbilly Bill of Rights.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I feel like I would have fit in West Virginia.
I like that song.
Country Road.
The one on Leroy's show.
It's Country Road, isn't it?
West Virginia. The mountains. Turn on the river.
Oh my God.
How's that, Leroy? Is that good? You enjoy that? He's actually gonna leave the stream now.
Oh, he's probably. I mean, what time must it be?
He's done. He's seen me do worse. You're 45 backers away from 1,000, dude.
I know. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been getting this many backers since the campaign just launched. I mean, it's like 5 a day.
Leroy says, "I quit CG. Peace." Sorry, dude.
You know, Ethan obviously showed it off. That was massive. I sent him a thank you for that. People have been talking about it. That video that I put out today, I think 2 people backed because of that video.
Oh, did 2 people refund because of that video?
Why would they?
Dude, I loved the content of the video. I hated the fact there were like 10 different clips in it. It was like way too many.
They're like 2 seconds long, if that. Some of them are a second long out of a 3-minute video. I'm
just starting to get into it, and then it's like another clip, and then another one.
I thought it was fun. I thought it would get boring, and it would just be, you know, reposting something that already happened if I don't put my own spin on it. Ali says, too many clips on the dance. Do you know that song?
No.
Too many dicks on the dance floor. Too many dicks. Too many dicks.
George is in chat here, Bancroft.
I know. I was listening to it the other day. I listened to, I don't know, about 10 Flight of the Conchords songs. God, they're good. I apologize, George. I was pissing myself laughing.
That was great.
And that was one of them. There's some of the great lines in that one. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really work when I do it, but you got to listen. Go listen to Flight of the Conchords. I can't believe they're almost honorary Australians.
They're the business socks people, aren't they?
Yes, that was another one. It's business.
That was a good
time.
one.
That's why they call them business socks. No, the best part of that song as well is when he says, she says, "Is that it?" And I say, "Oh yeah, I know what you're saying. That's it." And then, "You want some more?" "Well, I'm not surprised, but I'm kind of sleepy right now." And then he says, "It's business time. Business hours are over." I love that. What are you showing? Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? It really does feel like just a month ago we were celebrating 800 backers. And that's what I was saying. You know, it feels like it's really picking up trajectory. So it seems like a shame to close it at 1,000, but then that's probably one of the reasons why it is picking up, because this is it. You know,
when dreams and reality collide, a young woman is thrust into the middle of an ancient conflict.
Who did that? That was weird.
I didn't ask for that, but thank you. Mo's going to bed. Good night, Mo. Leroy says it's worse than the Star Trek stream now. George says this stream makes me feel better about thank the fan stream from Rob's channel.
Oh, that's fantastic. I've been getting heaps of backers too, which is cool. Up to 23 away from 700 now, which is sweet.
Yeah, it's ace. It's probably all these drawing streams I'm doing.
Probably. You're a very talented man.
I'm a genius, actually. Didn't you hear?
I did.
Thank goodness for Mo Biggs, huh? He keeps me in check.
Leroy says, I can't watch without you. This is too bad. You can come in here, Leroy. I'll send you the link.
Yeah, Leroy can come in here. Absolutely. Devilfish asks, are these backers in the room with you? Oh, that's great. Love it. I feel like I'm
He's not going to
coloring
come
this
in.
guy's ass far too much. I need to move on.
He's not going to come in.
Probably not.
I double dare you, Leroy.
You honestly think that would work?
I don't know. Maybe. I'm going to have to go in a minute anyway. So,
Look at the difference, though, on the top panel.
oh, yeah.
You know, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Leroy says you have to ask me very nicely.
Leroy, pretty please, with hundreds and thousands on top. Can you come into the stream and save this calamity?
I'm having fun.
I'm having fun too. I mean, these are just supposed to be, pointless, silly, whatever.
I mean, people must be entertained, even if it's terrible. Is it not entertaining?
No.
You also had fun on that stream you did earlier, Rob, and nobody else did.
What's that?
You had fun on that stream earlier today on your channel.
And no one else did?
The chat liked it.
I feel like I have to watch it now.
It was a train wreck.
The chat liked it, Leroy, didn't they?
I told Rob before the stream, Mike, that I was going to shit all over the topic.
It was a pretty bad topic.
The chat started before I could.
It was fun though.
But I've done some stinker topics too. I've done topics so bad that I literally said one sentence about them, then just moved on.
Good morning, George, by the way. Good morning.
George, have you had your life cereal yet?
To see Sumo Thori, the Canuck, SDA, all the regulars are all in here right now.
Great Sage says, "Does Rob and Bancroft like AFL? I hate AFL."
No, I don't like AFL. I don't like. I will watch it if I go. You know, sometimes there's something happening and I'll go to a game. I quite like it, but no, I don't follow it. I won't go out of my way to watch it. I grew up in Queensland, so
wait a minute. People don't know what AFL is. You got to say what it is.
Oh, it's Australian rules football.
Yeah.
You gotta. I mean, you kind of see it to believe it, really. People think there's no rules. Like people who watch it, they don't.
I bet this is how it went, Rob. Rob's like, "Hey, Mike, do you want to fire up the stream? We can go stream." And then Rob's like, "I gotta go now."
Dude, it's been an hour and a quarter they've been here.
Really?
It's not very long. We're going to do
not for a drawing stream.
You have to do an 8-hour celebration 1,000 backer stream with Bancroft. You have to commit to that, Rob.
Bancroft, what are we going to do about our shoeies? We're not going to be able to do them now. I'm disappointed.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's not going to be able to happen. Like, we won't be able to do it. I mean, we can do it live on stream, I guess.
We're gonna have to. We said we would, so we're gonna have to.
This is what we're going to do for 1,000. I've given some thought, Mike. Are you ready?
Yep.
We're going to drink and eat Burger King on stream.
Oh yes, I'm down with that because I already did the drinking last time. The Burger King came afterwards.
No, we got to do it at the same time this time.
Yeah, no, I'm totally down.
But you have to drink American beer this time.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. I'll do that.
Yeah,
Please
American,
don't do the
I didn't know
shoey.
we get Miller Lite here. Though.
American beer and
Do
Burger
you have
King.
good beer over there?
I like actually a little of the world. I prefer American beer. I'm one of the rare guys.
The problem is though, Leroy, a lot of these American beers are brewed locally. So
Doesn't matter. We just need to see like Bud Light or some shit on the
yeah,
can.
yeah.
Well,
I'll do that. Yeah, it looks like it might be coming sooner than I thought. I thought, oh, well, we'll have a couple of months here.
you have to
But
have a
at this
Whopper
rate,
and onion
Uh,
rings.
I reckon a couple of weeks, mate. The way it's going.
mm.
Mm.
Yeah,
Do
but
I need
we
to
are
pause this?
everybody.
Is this gonna like? Is this copyrighted? I just wanted
Everybody-
to show people what Aussie Rules was.
All right, I've got to go, guys. Leroy, are you sure you can take over from my awesomeness, or?
No, I don't know what we'll do without you, Rob.
All right, thanks, guys. Bye.
Everybody's bringing up, Mike, that like American beer is like water, but I would say to them that we drank the official beer of Australia on stream already with Foster's, so it's time for American beer.
See you, Rob. By the way, he's gone
Or
already.
we can do Foster's and Bloomin' Onions.
I could probably get Mel to make bloomin' onions. I mean, I can't. We don't have a deep fryer, but
And you can't have a Bloomin' Onion.
maybe we need to get it. We've got an air fryer. Will that work?
No, that's no, it's
Yeah.
not the same thing.
Well, I know it's not the same, but
No, I think Burger King. We'll make it an American night
well, I'll have to have Hungry Jacks.
since you had so many American backers.
Almost all of them.
Burger
Need to
King
find
and
some.
Budweiser. That sounds like a terrible night.
We would have the Burger King delivered halfway through, I imagine. Like, when we're
However,
already
yeah, I'll have my daughter go get it. I'm
When
gonna get
we're
onion rings
already-
with mine though.
well established.
Yeah. Well, you have to be in your. It's got to be in the height of your buzz that you enjoy that Burger King. There's no other way that you can enjoy Burger King, in my estimation.
Is that what it's like in the States? Like people get drunk and they have Burger King?
No, it's not even worth. I just know that you have Burger King and we have Burger King, and it's something we can all
We
do.
can do it, yeah.
Yeah. We go drunk and go to Waffle House. Culver's or go
We
home.
get drunk and have souvlakis, kebabs.
Kebabs. Mm. I don't think George is going to have Budweiser Burger King though.
He's not going to join us.
No. He might come on for the stream, but
That would be
he's
amazing.
not going to drink
What if it's
Budweiser.
an 8-hour stream? We could definitely accommodate that.
Well, maybe we'll get campaign mode Shane Davis in here. Mike.
Yeah. Because when does that kick off?
He was saying Labor Day weekend, so
I don't know what that is.
well, first weekend of September in the States is always Labor Day.
Yeah, the
weekend.
timing sounds about right. It could happen.
Johnny Rando says tequila on Taco Bell on May the 5th, the Cinco de Mayo.
My nickname, my poker nickname was Shuffleupagus.
I thought it was Scooter McGee or whatever the hell.
No, that was my high school nickname, Stabber McGee. But my poker nickname was Shuffleupagus, so people called me Shuff. And when
How many nicknames do you need?
I have had so many nicknames. And when I would get drunk playing poker, I would often drink tequila shots. And they would call me Jose Shuff. And I was fantastic. I was a phenomenal drunk poker player. I would win all this money and just become the life of the party.
Bancroft, I just got a thought. Now, it's not a 1,000 backer celebration unless we can get Mel B involved. So would say while you're eating Burger King that Mel B has to stand behind you and watch you eat it.
We do need to get her on the stream more. She's become part of the Lucent.
Oh, she's become a part of Comicsgate, I would say.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, but the problem is we can't have anyone to look after the kids.
Well, I mean, just let them run around barefoot.
This is what she thinks about that, Leroy.
I knew she would. That's why I suggested it. Remember the Tom Green show on MTV when we were kids?
Yeah.
Remember how they had that dude that just sat there and stared at everybody?
Maybe.
Oh, it's like Mel B can
Sounds
do
very
that.
Tom Green.
Yeah, Mel B could be that guy.
Just in the background.
Stare.
You could just have a camera of her that we could go to periodically, and she's just sitting there giving us the stare.
Yeah, she's got a hell of death stare. Mel B does.
Oh man, does she? No, she has resting. What's it?
I don't think
BF?
so. I wouldn't say
does.
that.
She does. Yeah, you wouldn't see it on stream because she's, being entertained.
I would never come on a live stream myself, and then with my wife watching in the chat, and then say, "Honey, you have resting bitch face." That's not something I would do personally.
No, she knows she has it. It's not a bad thing. It's not a slight to her. That's just how her face looks when she's not doing anything. It's like me when I work. Everyone says I look like a psychopath. So if I'm like coloring in the background on a stream or whatever, it was like, why is Mike so angry? I'm not. That's just how I look when I do things.
I don't know why Mel B's so upset. It's not like we're asking her to eat the Burger King. I mean, we could.
Well, she probably thinks you're facilitating my fattening.
Call the stream the fattening.
Well, she'll be happy with the money that we've raised from 1,000 backers and the whatever super chats we get. So she probably won't be that upset.
Maybe the insane muttering you do all day. I've never heard Bancroft mutter. Fattening. That's right.
Yeah. I went out the other day and bought. Do you have bullets?
Yeah, I put them in my guns all the time.
No.
Oh,
chocolate bullets. It's a little licorice pellet covered in chocolate.
No, we have something over here called dibs, where it's like a little chunks of ice cream covered in chocolate.
No, well, I went out and got some bullets the other day because I just felt like we needed it. We've worked really hard. We're at the home stretch. I still have an update to put out about that. I'm probably in a similar situation to Shane. But Mel's worked extraordinarily hard on the fulfillment and everything. So I just thought we need some chocolate. So yeah, that's what we've been getting on to. And she was like happy about it, but not happy about it. Do you have Australian licorice out there? I always wonder what people think of Australia. Like, you think it's just this outback desert full of snakes and spiders, and I think people would be very surprised when they come to a city like Melbourne or Sydney and just
but those are the two cities you have, literally.
No, there are others, but they're the big ones. They're the ones that would most resemble.
So we have LA, Sacramento,
city.
San Francisco, San Diego, all in one state. It's not getting into Dallas, Houston, Waco. That's you're you have two big cities.
We have two big cities, and then on the moderate sized cities we have Brisbane, Adelaide, and Perth. Then for I don't know if you'd even call them cities. I guess you can. Darwin and Hobart and Canberra.
You lost me at Melbourne.
But that's it.
After Melbourne,
the rest we call towns. Or they're small cities like towns.
Linkovich says chocolate covered licorice. You're monsters. I would agree. That doesn't sound.
No, it's delicious. It's really good.
Black licorice is nasty.
You are right there, Oz Great Sage. Now that I've been working from home for a year and a half, I'm absolutely ready to move to the country.
So you were battling with work where they were trying to make you come in. Is that kind of died down now?
Well, it was like a 2-day-a-week thing, and but now we're in full lockdown again. So it's kind of kicked the can down the road. But yeah, moving forward. What's the difference? This has worked for going on 2 years now almost.
No, you guys are going to have to like brave it. Your brave soul's going to brave the world sometime.
We've been looking at American towns, just
Daydreaming?
fantasizing,
Yeah.
daydreaming about getting out. We looked at we just looked at it because we heard, like, we were doing fulfillment, and we just like, oh look, there's Clarksville, Tennessee, because you know outside Clark.
Yeah, she would not like Tennessee, Melby.
We
no.
checked it out. We're like, oh, this looks nice. You know, we just look at different places. I mean, you know,
Mhm.
we're just looking at them.
I don't know, Des Moines, probably.
Des Moines, where's that?
Iowa. Maybe Lincoln, Nebraska, somewhere in the breadbasket. You guys would fit in with your little conservative values, like much like my family. I feel like. So you're looking at Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska, maybe Oklahoma, although that might be a little too bogan for you, maybe.
Smug Pug, that's great to hear. Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard a single person say the packaging was damaged or anything, which is very encouraging. It's really tough, even the posters. That's very awesome to hear. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think, you know, Melbourne is it used to be pretty. It used to be like a beautiful place.
Yeah, San
And
Francisco used to be a beautiful city too.
yeah, and it's just gone to hell.
Mhm.
But not for the same reasons, because all these developers, you know, we have a massive influx of Chinese immigrants, and the developers can't keep up, and they build these super cheap, ugly kind of postmodern structures. You know, we used to have these beautiful city suburbs with these quaint 60s and 70s Californian style bungalow single houses. We now have these towering, hideous multiplex apartment buildings.
Both versions sound like a nightmare to me, actually.
No, after a few decades, these old houses, they actually do get a fair amount of charm. But yeah,
There's just a lot of people in a big city, Bancroft.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Like, this is Mel's criteria.
Okay.
Number one, red state, like solid.
Yep. Okay.
No purple, like it has to be a sure thing.
But it's not that simple, but okay, I get the meaning.
You get the point.
There's weird states like Minnesota, and Iowa's one of them, that they're red, but they're kind of blue too, but blue for different reasons. But keep going. I get the
point is, Australia is the Oregon of.
Right. Got it.
Victoria, sorry, is the Oregon of Australia.
Got it.
And we've had enough. Right? Ali says it's South China. Yeah, it's getting close. So that's that. I mean, and yeah, you know, small town kind of living, small town life. Preferably somewhere where there's seasons. You know, you get the 4 seasons.
Got it.
You know, that's pretty much it.
He doesn't have a preference for mountains or non-mountains?
No, okay. I don't think so.
So maybe Tennessee, but there's a lot of big cities in Tennessee, and it's very mountainous where you're not in the cities. So that depends. But like I said, I think with the values that I've talked to Mel a few times, I have a sense of who she is and what she's about. I really think that in the center of the country, one of the breadbasket states, we call it the Great Plains. So you're looking, like I said, Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska. I think you guys would fit in well there. The thing about the cities and the breadbasket states, the big cities, what you would call big cities. I mean, the city I live in is about 400,000 people in the city alone. However, I could be in the middle of the city and I'm a 15-minute drive from being in the middle of nowhere. So you have everything you want as far as shopping and, you know, whatever, but you're in the middle of nowhere in 15 minutes, right? Yeah. So, and that's not just where I live. That's also true for Nebraska and Iowa and those states. Sorry.
Mel has also said also safe and jujitsu.
Jiu-jitsu's
somewhere.
taught in any
Yeah,
like if
that's
you
what I
have a
felt like.
city
Jiu-jitsu's
over.
massive.
Yeah,
Even if it's like a 30-minute drive away or whatever.
I think we might have 4 or 5 gyms with a black belt like teaching in my little city here. So
yes, Australia does have mountains, Ali. Snowy mountains too. George, sure, a couple of you guys asked that, Micra and George. We do live 10 15 minutes away from the beach. We never go there.
there are no red states on the coast.
Clark hates the beach. I don't care for the beach. Victoria, she
Well,
likes the idea of it, but
we got North Carolina and South Carolina. I guess you might look into those. Those have 4 seasons. They're on the beach, but they're very the coastal states are very populated.
the beach is a non-factor for me. I'm not interested in the water. I mean, it's part of Australian life.
Go to a lake,
Everyone lives
a
near
river.
a beach, unless you live in the country regions. But very few people do in Australia comparatively.
Bancroft or George is talking about the food, and I would say this: like, I can go to a grocery store and I know that the steak that I'm buying, that cow was alive yesterday. Like, so there you go. You like steak?
I think there's just some things we would have to accept. Are different. That's it. You move to another country, you accept.
I think
whatever's going on there.
You and Mel would be very easily Americanized. I don't feel like it would be a struggle to accept the culture, especially if you're going to move to a red state, like to accept the culture. I don't feel like you would be in culture shock at all. So you have that going if that ever happened, right? So
yeah. I mean, I like there'll be some kind of just
except for all the meat on the sandwiches,
sentimentality. Come off it.
I mean, what are you gonna be like? What would you miss? Do you think?
Oh look, I mean, I've lived my whole life in Australia, apart from when I was in Germany or visiting my dad in Asia.
No, but I'm saying, like, what are some of the things? I wasn't being facetious. I was actually curious.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I don't think I would know until I left. I've watched tons of videos of both Americans moving to Australia and their experience, and then vice versa, Australians moving to America. But I think out of any culture, I think you're right. Like, we do kind of gel pretty well. There's enough similarities there that it works fairly easily. And I know
you guys
that
do what you're told. Apparently, we've been watching on the news how you're good at that.
Yeah, but apparently, and I know myself personally, and Mel, I believe in America. I believe in what it is, and I know a lot of Australians don't. I know a lot of Australians think of America as a botched experiment. I said to someone before the pandemic happened, I said, I'd like to move to another country. And he said, where? And I said, oh, somewhere in America. And his jaw dropped. And he said, you'll get shot. You'll get killed. That's their idea of America. And, they think it's just full of crazy racists and weirdos and guns and gun violence and all that sort of stuff. That's their idea.
That's just Chicago, yeah.
Well, I mean, and it's just certain suburbs of Chicago.
I'm just playing. It's not just Chicago, but
I know what you're saying there.
Right? You'd like having a gun, says some person. I'm not shooting.
But there would have to be a level of disorientation moving there.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's going to be things that. But the thing is the states are so localized, right? So you can go from Texas to Kansas and get a totally different vibe. Right? It's so different, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
And we
like,
don't really have that in Australia. There you go. That's something that's really different. I mean, we like to joke that we're different, but apart from the environment, Queensland gets more tropical. Perth gets more dry, but everyone lives on the coast pretty much. And I'm saying 95% of Australians live a pretty similar-ish kind of life.
yeah. So an example would be in Texas driving. In Dallas and Houston, like the bigger car wins. It doesn't matter. Like you get the hell out of the way for the bigger car. Where I live in Kansas, I've seen people get in accidents to be nice and let somebody in like on the interstate or the highways, you would say maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But people will get in accidents to be nice. Like it's sickening. Like how nice people are here.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's a local thing,
Yeah,
like,
no, we have that as well. Like I drove my auntie to the airport once, and she was she had white knuckles. She was gripping onto the things because up in Queensland they all drive slow and friendly, and whereas in Melbourne it's every man for himself, and
and
like they don't change lanes up there.
right up where George lives, if somebody says like "Have a nice day," like you give them a look and you're like, "Go f yourself." Like, but if somebody
Where's
says
that?
up in the Northeast,
Mm-hmm.
and if here somebody says "Have a nice day," it makes you feel good. You're like, "Oh yeah, they really want me to have a nice day, sweet." Like, but it's just regionality. Like down the south is much friendlier, in the breadbasket is much friendlier. On the west coast and the Northeast, it could be kind of rude.
Mm-hmm. Who's dunking on Cairns, Sir Angus Fungus? I'm from Cairns.
Carnes?
Cairns. It's like
Is that where Shane's from?
When I came down to Melbourne, everyone said I had a really weird accent because Cairns is pretty far north, and I probably would have had a strange accent, but I've probably lost it since then.
Yeah. See,
But
Checkpoint's got
that's
it right.
that's very tropical. We went through 2 cyclones up there, I think, while we were living there. But that's where I grew up.
Checkpoint says Carney's ?
Cairns, mate. Cairns.
Hmm.
I'm probably saying it wrong now because
Yeah, there's probably like a Y at the end of it. You're not saying, so it's like really canny.
Cairnsy, mate. Yeah, I haven't been back in the 80s. So
that was poor Bancroft honed his rollerblading skills, says Sumo Sorry.
No.
Oh, good
That was
stuff.
before then.
Even George knows about the Carnies, see?
Richard says, I live in Queensland. I get on the highway. I don't change lanes until I get to my destination. I'm not making this up. That's how they drive there. In Melbourne, you change lanes just all the time. That's how they teach you.
In Dallas, you will change lanes, or you'll be forced to. Like you see, like a big ass pickup truck coming 90 miles an hour, you better get the hell out of the way.
Get the hell out of the way.
I wouldn't even drive through Dallas in a car. That's a life-threatening decision.
I drove in Paris. Have you ever driven in Paris?
Yes, I have.
And I'd never driven on the other side of the road before in my life. And it was pissing down with rain. I'm surprised we got out of it alive. I had no idea what was happening. I was so disorientated.
So that's your story? You drove in the rain in France?
So I just got a phone call and I turned it off, so I was a little bit distracted there. But yeah, no, it was it was bad. Now that's something. There you go. I wonder about, like, how easily am I going to switch from
So yeah, that's another
driving on the left to driving on the right.
right. So that's another thing. And then what Rob put is the accents. Like, so it depends on where you live. Where up in the Northeast, not New York, Boston, you heard Jeremy, right? Crackhead Jeremy.
Mhm.
He's from Boston. He's got that thick Boston accent, and like down south, there's a different accent. In the mountain, like you'll get people that talk like Mandy. Down in south and around Appalachia, there's thick accents. Up north, they have their own accent where it's kind of Canadian a little bit.
Mhm.
So there's not just one dominant. You guys have that too, those bogans, like real bogans. I know we
No,
joke
it's not
about it.
regional though. There's only one regional accent in Australia, and that's the Northern Territory.
So what do you call the bogan speak then?
We call that broad Australian English.
That's an accent.
Broad. Yeah, but it's not regional. So you'll grow up next to your mate. So one of my good mates, I thought about trying to invite him on stream just so you guys could see how he talks. It's like Steve Irwin. He'll come on and be like, yeah, how you going? Like that, yeah. Oh yeah, his comics. I don't really follow him. It's like that. And for no reason. It's not a class thing. It's not an education thing. It's not a location thing. We all grew up together. A couple of them have that accent.
It's not even an education thing.
It's nothing. There's no rhyme or reason why, different. Why people talk differently. Rob says Queenslanders talk different. It's so slight. It is so slight. Adelaide, there's another very slight change in the accent, but across the board, there's the general Australian accent, which is what I've got. There's that Ocker accent, which is like my friend.
The bogan.
That's the Steve Irwin, the bogan. And then there's like a tiny amount of people who speak a bit more British sounding. But they're mostly just actors and TV personalities and stuff like that. Now, there is one other... Actually, there are other accents, but they're not fully recognized yet.
Wait, you have to recognize their accents. That's a thing.
There's the Northern Territory accent, which I think comes from the Aboriginal language mixing with English.
What about the South African accent? That's one of my favorites.
South Africa.
Yeah. Do you have that in Australia?
What's that?
You have that in Australia?
I mean, we have South Africans in this. I work with a South African.
Just play it.
If it gets all the islanders, there's lots of little groups like the Italians and the Greeks who we have a lot of Italians and the Greeks here. They came here, and just the way that their natural accent melded with Australian English. Now they have their accent, which we would call a WOG accent.
You did have a lot of Italians and Greeks, but then the Americans came in World War II and bred them out. It took them 2 weeks.
So there are other accents, but really, the vast majority of Australians sound like me or Rob.
I saw you were lassoing earlier, Bancroft. I was quite intrigued.
Well, it's because I've got a mask. So this is my mask, and I want to, if I want to paint, if I just selected this mask and I want to, paint in some highlights here. Whoa, what happened? And I did it I wanted to come in, I wanted a bigger brush. It would do that, So I just get rid of the bits of the mask that I'm not currently working on, if you catch my drift, like that. Yeah. So I'm just working on this panel at the moment, so I don't have to worry about anything else.
So
it's not like the difference. Imagine that people in New York speak exactly the same as people in LA, and that's what's going on in Melbourne to Perth or Sydney to Perth. You can't really tell where they're from based on how they talk.
Yeah, that's not. That doesn't.
Like, and that's the distances that we're talking.
Mhm. A lot younger Aussies have started talking like Valley girls. I mean, that's like you were just talking about the LA accent. That's what that would be.
Yeah, I think that's always probably happened, and they just grow out of it. My sister, she does a lot of that upspeak. Yeah, but I think a lot of Australians do that. I'm sure even I do it a fair amount. You know, where you go huh? At the end of a sentence, even though it's not a question. What is on my t-shirt? It's maybe
King.
Shane would like it. It's cats riding tacos, pizzas, and burgers.
Why?
It's from my old days as a t-shirt designer when I'd get lots of free shirts.
Like drives me daughters crazy with my daughters. Yeah, luckily my daughter never went into that phase. I'm glad she never did that.
My daughter does, but whenever she does, she cringes at herself and stops and like flicks her hand to, remind her not to. Most Yanks can't tell Aussies from Kiwis.
That's true.
Man,
Very true.
You have to be able to hear the difference between someone like me and the guy from Flight of the Conchords.
I never watched that show.
Okay, well, he says I would say, "Is that it?" And he would say, "Is that it?"
That sounds South African.
It does sound a bit South African. That's how they talk. Model V. She's not married. I don't even know if she has a boyfriend at the moment. She's quite
well, then
young.
Maybe
though,
there is
Model
hope.
V. How old are you?
You might fit in West Virginia still. Kick Mel out, and we'll see where it goes. So how many backers are you at, Bancroft, right now?
I was on 955. Yep. Yeah, so when Ethan did his unboxing, that was on 940. So that was 2 days ago. That's pretty. Yeah, I haven't had that kind of growth in a while. It's
5 backers.
Cool. No, 15.
Oh, 15.
I got 5 backers today, I think.
Okay.
I think there's supposed to be blood here, but I'll do that later.
Oh, we could tell the difference between British and Aussie, but not Aussie.
Well, actually, London and Aussie, if you go into the heart of London, even I am sometimes like, is he speaking Aussie? And no, I mean, not that people say, you're an Australian, because there's so many Australians in London, but in London, like city, I'm saying like in the city, it's very similar. But to my accent, not to all Australian accents.
So apparently you have to talk to Ethan about the lore of the ginger root hand.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know, what is this? That was hilarious.
Yeah. Doesn't understand. Obviously, the few times he's been on your channel, we didn't give him the lore lesson.
No, we didn't. We didn't jump straight into it.
Oh, it's nice you're here, Ethan, but we need to tell you.
Yeah.
30 minutes on the lore.
Yeah. Did you know that? Yeah. You know who was the first person to call out that hand?
Skip?
No. Now Skip will take credit for it.
You were the first one to call it out to me. You were the first one.
It was Mel B.
Mel. That's right.
She was like, what the heck is going on with that hand?
Yeah.
And I said to her, I don't have time to go back and fix things. I got too much to draw.
She was
you
like,
don't even read comics. So what do you?
You don't even read comics.
I do. Well, I did read comics. I'm back at.
You read Spider-Man one time. That's not reading comics.
One time. I have hundreds of Spider-Man books. Thank you very much.
Maybe one day they'll be read.
But they're they're all read lovingly. And yeah, so I dismissed Mel out of hand.
Bad idea. Yeah.
And then Skip, I showed it to Skip, and he was like, he was laughing his ass off. He said, that's what he said. It looks like a ginger root. And that's when it came out. And then I showed a few more people, and it was clear. At least he didn't say what's a Bancroft. Nolan, I'm in a group with Graham Nolan. Every now and then he'll just pop that in there. That guy's awesome. Like, we don't know each other that well, but every now and then he'll just give me a little ribbing, and just say, "Hey, what's a Bancroft?" He's a top guy. I like Graham.
Yeah, I'm a big Nolan fan. So yeah, we gotta get what other lore does Ethan need to be educated on if it came to your channel, Mike? Do you think?
Oh God, there's so much, isn't there? AR-15 orangutan is probably the biggest one.
You don't think he's aware of that?
He's probably aware of it, but he
doesn't know the deep lore of it.
Yeah, like, how did that come about? How did that become a thing?
Oh, like, we don't have to give him crack pack. He disavowed Sumothori on stream.
He was pretty clear on that.
Yeah.
The forehead, the giant forehead.
Yeah,
the
that's one thing. When you do come over, you do have to start saying that word correctly.
I know, yeah. Well, I mean, that's there you go. But I know all of the American pronunciations.
The golden rule, Johnny Rando says.
The golden rule.
Yes.
I won't out who said it to me, because he may never come back to the chat ever again. But a pivotal member of the Bogan chat, the Bogan Discord, said to me that he watched a stream and he wasn't down with it. Not one of my streams, a different.
What, the Golden Rule stream?
No. He watched another stream. He watched another Comicsgate thing. He thought it wasn't as good as it should have been. And he said to me, people need to remember the golden rule. And he was like, he nearly vomited having to type out those words.
Who was this guy, Bancroft?
I'm not going to say, because I'm not going to dox him. But the golden rule, the golden gay time, the VB.
I think you need to dox him.
No, I would never.
You should just open up the DMs and show us.
No. Seriously, I would be. It would be.
Did it come in DMs or did it come in an email?
It was in DMs. I don't.
So it wasn't George.
There's only one person I interact with from the chat via email. That's because he doesn't have a Twitter, and everyone knows who that is.
Up a poll. Yeah. Oh, VB. Yes.
Oh.
We've gotten away from VB recently.
Well, I had to. The beer belly is a real thing, and I'm, I turned 40. I turned 41 actually. Jesus.
But there's nothing you can do about it, Mike. You got this. There's this thing called genetics.
There's something you can do about not having a beer belly.
You're going to get fat. If your dad's fat, you're going to get fat. If your dad has a belly, you're going to get one. This is how genetics works. I would have told Mel to take a long, good, hard look at your father before she married you. She failed in her duty. Now she has to deal with the consequences.
She won't accept.
Before I was like, I thought my wife was marrying material. I was like, take me to your mom first. Let me get a good.
Take me to your mother. I need to see what I'm working with. That's so true, though. Like, there are certain people, as soon as they have kids, they just balloon out, right? So you might be hot now, smoking hot body and everything. As soon as you get a couple of kids in her, she's
Start shitting
shaped
those
like
kids out. Yeah, there you go.
His dad is not fat and handsome. Do you think I'm a nerd? Johnny Rando is calling out. He says, "Not true. My dad was a fat ass, and I'm thin."
Meth is working for Johnny.
Yeah.
Is Mel's mom hot, Bancroft?
I'm not gonna say that. Are you kidding me?
No, I just wanted to get you in trouble.
Oh my god.
Just wanted to get you in trouble. Maybe I'll ask you again. On the 1,000 while she's watching you eat Burger King.
How closely does she have to watch me?
She doesn't have to at all. It's just a joke. No, that would be. It would probably be the most awkward stream of all time.
She's seen it before.
I remember
I'm
how
like you.
I remember how disgusted she was with your meth shack after you ate Burger King the last time. That's why I think it's funny.
Yeah, she came in the other day and cleaned this whole place up. By the way, it was a pigsty in here.
She probably came in there and had to she did the vomit thing where she's like,
She does do that too. She gets disgusted by things, and I don't. I mean, I just feel it's just life, But yeah,
the Burger King and Budweiser stream. That sounds so white
but
trash.
now Victoria rats me out when I.
Yeah, that'll end. They're going to start fighting, Mel and Victoria, and you're going to be put in the middle of it.
That's already happening.
Yeah, it sucks because you always have to take Mel's side no matter what. Just do that. Just make her. But even though you might talk to her on the side, but in front of the kids, you better take Mel's side, buddy. Always. That sounds gross. I'm not watching that. George agrees that's the worst when the kids put you I literally had my wife and my daughter argue about the color.
See ya, Ali. Yeah.
Argue about the color of the sky one time.
Yeah. That's the thing about Mel and Victoria. They they when they get upset at each other, sometimes it's because Victoria is displaying traits that are clearly have come from Mel. It's not every time, because sometimes it's because she's doing things that definitely come from me, arguing a bit like a lawyer, calling you up on semantic arguments. That's when it's coming from a 9-year-old, it's
a 9-year-old gaslighter. Got it. She'll argue around in circles. Nice. Yeah, you always have to take Mel's side though. Always. Because you know what? Someday she's going to leave Victoria, and you're going to be stuck with Mel. You just remember that, Bancroft.
I've got to keep that in mind.
Yes.
Right. Now that actually makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. You can't spend 20 years not taking her side, and then that makes sense.
It's the one case when blood is not thicker than water.
Right. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, poor George. He's got 4 women in the house with him. He's the only dude.
That sounds like my work. Surrounded by women.
Yeah. There's probably about 3 to 4 days a month in that house where it's like holy hell in that house.
George, do you have I see you stream from looks like a basement.
Yeah, it's his basement.
That's his space. Like that's Dad's.
The man cave.
Yeah.
I don't know. George has his territory in his house, as far as I understand, by original art. So like his whole house is marked by George. Like he has original art in the kitchen. Like just hanging in the kitchen.
He says it's more like 2 weeks.
Oof. Oof.
It's actually one of the best. I mean, I've only seen what I can see from the vantage point that I can, but it looks like one of the better basements.
George and I are going to start doing a stream, Bancroft, that you're going to hate.
What's that?
Where we read old classic comic books that we actually read. So I
Why
would
would I hate
suggest
that?
you not tune into those because you
Why
don't
would I
know.
hate
You won't
that?
know what we're talking about.
Well, if they're DC, I won't.
George stays in
But
his man
it
cave.
might be a way for me to read or like get an understanding of some more classics that I don't have time to read.
So you'll just listen about 2 hours about a stream and a book that would have taken you 20 minutes to flip through.
Well, it's like if I get an itch to play a computer game, instead of playing it now, I just watch a walkthrough. Watch someone else playing it on YouTube.
I don't even know what that means. Some person
No idea.
Gibberish.
But yeah, that's a great basement he's got down there. Better than David Feeds the other day. It looked like he was living in a.
I've got a finished basement too. It's my daughter. She's taking it over though. She used to be in the room I'm in. It used to be her room.
Mm-hmm.
But then she got older and like I needed to separate the children. Like they're 2 years apart, and one's a boy and one's a girl. So she's the oldest. She got like the basement downstairs I have a living room, a full bathroom, a whole extra bedroom, and an office area. So she's got that whole thing down there to herself. And then I took the room upstairs as my office. But it's carpeted. It's finished. It looks like just another part of the house. And actually, the ceilings look just like the ceilings in the rest of the house as well.
I had a study that I would make my T-shirts and then the comic in, but Clark took that from me. It's his bedroom. So lucky we had the cottage.
The meth shack.
One day we'll show the cottage from the outside.
You already have.
Have we?
I've seen pictures. Maybe you showed it in private.
Yeah. During this, like I saw Mel put some nice outdoor chairs out on the what do you call it? The patio? Is it a patio if it's a cottage?
What I want to see is the double trouble court.
Yeah, we can make that happen.
Yeah, I want to see.
It's just 2 swings.
I know, but I still want
to a carport.
The myth of the double trouble.
We were playing Double Trouble the other day, and he still says trouble. And then we said, when the kids say cute things and you don't want to correct them. And so we just decided, I said, Clark.
Oh, hold on. Before the chat, we lose the chat. Double Trouble is a game that Clark, Bancroft's 3-year-old son, has made up. All by himself, and they play this game. And if Bancroft is drawing, you'll hear Clark come into the cottage and say he wants to play Double Trouble, Daddy. So that's Double Trouble.
Yeah,
there you go.
And it's basically he swings on the swing. I throw. We've got like a ball, a little rubber ball thing to him. He'll kick it, and then every now and then he'll kick it up in the air, and he'll be able to kick it twice. And when he does that, we yell out, "Double Trouble!" And he screams it. But he just being 3, he's reverted to calling it Trouble. And so we just decided we're going to call it Trouble Trouble because he likes that better than Double Trouble, and it's his game, so that's what we do.
I bet one year we'll be playing it at the Olympics.
You know what he likes to do, because it's the swings are attached to a carport, and sometimes you can swing up quite high and kick it, and the ball will bounce back onto the roof of the carport, and that's when Victoria has to climb up there and get it. I could climb up there, but I'm worried I'll
your beer gut would get in the way. Yeah,
he's doing it. He's doing it more on purpose now.
I got a beer gut. I'm just, you know what I want to do? I want to like lift my shirt off over it and just start rubbing it, walking in front of my wife.
I'll be going in later. I'll be going in soon. Actually, we'll end this soon. And I'll have dinner and then I'll do some more head sketches. And I'm sitting there, and occasionally I'll be on the couch, doing a head sketch, and I'll look down, and my t-shirt's pulled up a bit, and then the gut is just.
You know what you should do when you see Mel like looking at it? Look up at her, nod, and wink at her.
She does not like the look of it. Every now and then, Victoria will see it, like if she's next to me, and she'll pull the t-shirt down. I'm just like, no.
You can nod, wink at Mel when she sees it, and then look to the bedroom door. What do you think?
Yeah, just like a nod, like, hey.
Yeah.
Right. What do you reckon of this? Give it a rub.
You want to have a go?
Johnny Rando, can I have a ride? Johnny Rando says you can always do some sit-ups.
Sounds like work.
It does. Like I used to do that when I was a younger man.
Mel B is disgusted and left.
Sumo says too far, Leroy. No, I'm not a millionaire, although Australia is the richest people in the world, believe it or not.
I heard in Australia you don't have to work if you don't want to.
Pretty much.
You just live out the government. Is that true?
Not for me.
Oh.
But yeah, we have all those problems.
I want back, Lucient. I'm trying to pissard.
Well, I hope you can figure it out, Sir Angus.
The dying days of YouTube says Mel B is oddly signing on it right now. Yeah, that's true.
Do you know exactly where your book is, Leroy?
Yeah, it's in Melbourne.
Oh, it's not even right. It hasn't even left yet.
Mm-mm.
2-2, go Cairns. Go Cairns. Yeah, Warrie Primary School. That's where I went, up in Cairns.
George also was likes to point out.
Yeah.
I'll probably get mine. I'll get mine before George because I think that they come at the same time. They come from LA. So in theory, I should get mine first, but we'll see how that works.
I'm not expecting the what Shane got today.
Yeah, it's a good thing you're following up Shane Davis. That's what I would want to do if I was you.
Yeah. I know, right? But it is what it is. You can't live in fear of a bad review or a mediocre review.
Yeah, but it's your first book. Like a mediocre review is a good review, I would say, in your very first book.
Well, the fact that people like it, has left me kind of immune now. So, even if you guys don't feel the same way, at least I know some people do.
Well, yeah, that's why you got us our books last. Exactly.
No. There's people who are still waiting who backed it before you because I've been too slow to do the head sketches. So they're like priority number 1 right now.
We have moderately good social security here in Finland. Even tested basic income did not fly. Well, yeah, I heard in the the what do they call it? Those countries like Finland, Sweden. What do we call those? We have a name for them. It's escaping my mind. But I heard like a global income system kind of like.
Is is this real? So Angus Fungus, did you go to the same school as me in Cairns? That would he says me too. Warri preschool. Wow. That would be a real small world thing.
Is he rollerblade too?
I don't know how big the rollerblading scene was, but he's of that age. He says he's a 77
Nordic
baby, so he
countries,
would have
thank
been a teenager during peak rollerblading time.
I didn't rollerblade until I learned to ice skate. I thought it was like retarded until I learned to ice skate, and I'm like, oh well, I guess I can rollerblade too.
It's quite different though.
No, but all my hockey buddies were playing like roller
Yeah.
hockey too.
Yeah, we were as well.
I thought
It's,
it wasn't. It's nowhere near the same thing.
No, you don't
It
use
sucks.
your edges. It's
Oh no, you can. Like I wore out so many wheels. Like the way I learned to stop on ice skates, I would transfer that to blades, and it just
oh yeah. So you're just killing your skates.
yeah. Nordic countries, yes, thank you guys, I appreciate it. The Norse gods, Scandinavian, you could say.
Do you guys hate it when people call you, like, look to you and say that's why socialism works, Scandinavia?
No, I think that's been pretty thoroughly.
Yeah, but people still say it.
I'm really enjoying the Lucent. It's a fantastic first installment to a larger story. Can't wait for my next parcel so I can gift out some copies. Give some away. I'm going to have my mother-in-law, who used to love comics. She loved Kirby and Byrne and all those guys. I've got 2 copies of Starlight Cats, and I think I'm going to lend her one and have her read it. And if the Lucent is good, Michael, I'm going to give her my copy of the Lucent. Are you ready? And then give her the puzzle so she could put it together.
Oh.
Seriously. So if it's good, I'll be like, hey, why don't you read this? And she loves puzzles. Here's the puzzle. You can.
Well, the story is a bit like a puzzle. That's what I'm saying. The people who've read it, I don't think anyone has quite kind of put it together yet. Like the exact, like people want to get it and see like, oh, what is the Lucent or who are the Lucent? It doesn't get into that. It leaves a lot of clues. And I was, when I was doing it as a webtoon, I was shocked that I don't know, 2 or 3 people sent me a comment or an email with what they think the story is. And they were correct. And I always said, like, if you can tell me what, like, a lot of the theories are way off, but you can tell me what you actually think it is. I was blown away that just from the kind of hints and whatever, the subtext.
Yeah, like actually Shane has a little of that going on. I think I talked about it in the review. With Starlight Cats, where like she falls asleep and enters this world, or she wakes up, she's asleep and she enters this world. She wakes up and she's out of it. So we can say, Mike, that Shane put the first Dream book out in comics.
No.
Yeah.
Skits is a Dream book.
Oh.
So.
Well, he beat you. That's the important thing.
He did beat me.
Yeah.
Well, he beat me to you. Rob read the Lucent.
That's all that matters.
Like,
that's all that matters. That doesn't matter to me. You failed me and George. Yeah. I don't think bush pigs are included in the statistic. I don't know what statistic he's talking about. I don't want to know any statistics with bush pigs, says Ken Jack Ben, which sounds like a very Australian name. You know anybody named Ken Jack Ben?
No, Ken Jack Ben is Scandinavian, I believe.
I
think so. F Rollerbladers, all that thing, but yes, and St. Augustine, 1994. No gay, yes, St. Mary's or Warri High. Hail Bayview Heights. Yeah, well, I only went to the primary school, so I didn't go to the high school. But But that's crazy, man. I mean, that's crazy. We're from, we grew up in the same place, and now we, come together
I would like to
30
congratulate you.
years later.
Congratulate you, Mike.
Mhm.
You are the author of the very first comic book that Rob ever read.
Yeah, that's it. That George has hit it right on the
Yeah.
head.
Mm-hmm.
Rob actually said to me, I actually got through it. That's saying something. He gets confronted by words, and he just closes the page.
He's like, oh, it was good, when I looked at the cover, but now that I looked on the
Yeah.
inside, I'm out. Like, yeah.
I got too busy with work to finish the Dark
So you
Knight
didn't read it
Returns,
to him.
but I will get back to the Dark Knight Returns. But Rob was like, I can't do it. It's like a novel. There's too many words.
Oh. George is like, he's sitting down watching the stream now, and steam is coming out of his ears and his face is red hearing that. Understand that.
But there are pages. There's entire pages of the Lucent with no words on it. So I guess that's how he.
I wonder if he read it or he just like looked through it and said he read it.
But he said, I think it's a book you need to read more than once to really digest it. And I
Isn't
think he's
that
right
every
with that.
book for Rob though?
I mean, reading it once is the struggle though.
Mm.
Getting him that one time. I mean,
He's read a comic
hard
book now.
part.
A comic book.
I don't remember much Judge. He's a big fan of Judge Dredd, and I've got a couple of Judge Dredds, but I don't really remember them. I remember I enjoyed them, but I didn't know where to get any more. Because in my comic book stores, they had normal American comics.
He doesn't like comic books. He likes picture books. Antoine's up.
Why are pages with no words a bragging point for a book? What has happened to Planet Earth? It's not a bragging point. It's like that's without those pages. I think just thinking back, there's probably 6, maybe 4. I don't know, 4 to 6 pages in the Lucent where there's close to or not much to read at all.
There's a children's book, Mike, that I used to read to my daughter. It was called Good Night Moon, and it was just a bunch of pictures. And you would flip to one page, it'd be like "Good night stars," "Good night sky," and the next, and "Good night." I bet, like, you can give that to Rob and call that a comic, and he still wouldn't get through it.
Poor Rob. Are we going to do Rob Teenth again?
No,
it's done. It was a one-time thing. That's why I didn't put inaugural when I did.
I think Rob should have to have a day where he just doesn't stream and call it Comicsgate Teenth. Good Night Moon, yeah, that's a classic, says George. It's a very hungry caterpillar too. Yeah.
Oh, we've got that.
The little engine that could.
Yep, got that.
Pokey little puppy.
Yep.
Rob
Classics.
Teenth. Classics. I haven't read the Pokey Little Puppy. Leo the Lop, which is about a rabbit with like floppy ears.
I don't have that one.
Antoine just popped in, like I said.
Hello, Antoine. Great to have you here, my friend. We're actually going to close out in probably about 10 minutes.
There you go.
Yeah, because it's getting on.
I like Tommy's comment. What would Rob experience with a pop-up book? Nightmares, Tommy. Nightmares. It's like, all these words are flying at me.
They're too close.
Oh, got some launches coming up, Mike. I'm pretty excited.
What have we got?
Got Black and White 2.
Oh, yeah.
We got Rex. The Lost Pages 2 coming up. What do we know about the Lucent 2?
I have to finish this first before I can even think about the Lucent 2. So, yeah, I get up early. I do this. I do it after work. I do it.
Will you ever color another person's book again after this?
No.
This is it.
It's the thing with this, right? Rob and I kind of came up together, sort of.
You guys are ride or die.
I don't want to say that. I don't want to use that term.
Okay.
But we kind of intertwined our fates a little bit. We use a lot of self-promotion. Like we kind of did a lot of, we were each other's evil on the way up, and it worked out really well for us. On top of that, Rob got a lot of people involved in his book. Good people, like big Comicsgaters. And
superstars, some might say.
He would definitely say. And he just really struggled, to get this thing to the point where it's at now. And it's not. It just Corey went off to do Kozor. He lost inkers along the way. He tried out 4 other colorists. He was looking at some other colorists. They got busy with other things. And it was just a matter of, look, we cannot let Replicator fail.
Are you saying
we
Rob is
put it
too
out.
big to fail?
I say he could not have put it out. Without someone finishing the colors, essentially. Like it was not an option. And so it was just a matter of like, this can't be allowed to become a failure, because that's sort of, I feel like you really get one failure and you're kind of done in crowdfunding. So yeah, but no, it's not something that I enjoy doing it. I'm actually learning a lot doing these colors because they are so different to my colors. But yeah, I would, I want to do more cartoons. I want to do the Lucent 2. I want to, get started on Lucent 3. There's lots of things out there need doing.
You want to mow the lawn?
I don't want to mow the lawn.
Oh,
I've made that perfectly clear. Who was saying there's not much coloring?
You want to sit on the couch with your gut coming out of your shirt?
I want to give Mel a little, hey, how you going there? Look at this. It's white. It's pasty. There's more hair on it this year than there was last year.
A little furry, yeah. Keeps me warm in the winter.
That's what I've done. Who was saying there's no coloring getting done? So that's what I started with. This is what I'm at. This is what I got.
Says, please stop. What did we start with?
It was much more yellow.
Hmm.
Now there's some blue in there.
You put some more brown in there, Bancroft?
No, we're taking the brown out.
Good.
Coloring the brown up. Gut animation, no. White and tasty with more hair than last year. Well, I've noticed it. I'm just going to say, I was laughing when the comedians were saying, at a certain age, you'd lose hair from your head and that you gain it on your back. And I thought that was very funny until you actually have to live through it.
I never got a hairy back.
Luckily for me, my head of hair is very thick and robust. So I won't be losing much hair on my head. George is asking Antoine about Red Empires, which I think is coming sooner than any of us think. And
I would tell Antoine he needs to start making the rounds on YouTube.
He's done it a little bit.
Mhm.
I was hanging out with him on Lola. He's been on mine now a couple of times. I've seen.
I mean,
him on
I'm
another one.
more talking about the John and Shane open streams where you can come on and talk about your book.
Have they been doing them much?
Shane did one, and I got on Antoine a little bit for not. He said he didn't see the tweet, but yeah, like get your name out there, Antoine.
John asks, you think Bancroft's, he's asking George, you think Bancroft's scenario reenactment helps or hurts Lucent sales? Lol.
It's a good question.
I hope it's neutral. I hope people don't hold that against me. One of the best
your belly fur?
Yeah. One of the best things about Comicsgate is I think we're getting rid of this idea that creators live on some lofty pedestal. No, they're down in the muck with everyone else, working hard, making books, getting tired, getting drunk, having fun.
Getting Burger King. And
Burger King, exactly. Johnny says, really like your Ella postcard. I love that Ella postcard. I'm so happy about how it came out printed. Please hit the like check. Thank you, George, for reminding me. Yeah, we are going to end it there. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out on this impromptu drawing stream. As I'll probably continue doing these on, what is it? Is it Sunday there?
Yeah.
Wednesday?
Well, it's Monday morning. I'm getting ready to go to work.
Oh, yeah. It's Monday evening for me. Monday and Tuesday. On nights that I'm not doing the late night with Comicsgate show.
We kept it pretty clean for George, Mike, I'd like to say.
I tried to.
Yeah. I mean, we did talk about guts, but that's not dirty. That's just funny.
I'll thank you so much, Sir Angus Fungus, fellow Wari alumni.
Oh, we've also established a 1,000 backer stream now. I'm very excited about.
Yes. Yeah, that will definitely happen. That will definitely happen.
There will be a mass consumption of Whoppers in Comicsgate.
I can do one.
I'm just saying, like, if everybody has a Whopper.
Everybody, yeah. We need to organize with everybody who's going to be coming on that stream. It will be a Hungry Jack's / Burger King.
Yeah, Burger King. We'll just call it Burger King, Bancroft.
Yeah. Consuming show.
Maybe we could.
Thank you, Leroy. Thank you, Rob, earlier. Thank you.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
What?
Thank Rob.
Don't thank Rob?
No. Yeah.
Mel says I heard everything. I hope I'm not locked out.
You're gonna go show her your belly.
If I am, I'm gonna have to go tap on Victoria's window for her to let me in, which will be interesting. All right, I'll see you guys around. Bye.
See ya.